Hello there, Whipper here, and welcome back to another mod showcase. And today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the Puns mod. And if we could possibly get 300 likes for the sheer amount of puns that are going to be in this video, that would be brilliant. Anyway, what the Pun mod does is it adds an array of different items that all have one theme in common. The name of the item is actually a pun itself, in relation to what the item actually does. So it's quite funny. There's so many terrible puns in this, and for that I am sorry, but it's not actually me that's making them, therefore it's okay. It's the mod creator that's actually done this. So don't blame me for these terrible puns. But anyway, let's just go over here. The first item I'm going to show you is called the Greater Sword. And no, this is not the greatest sword ever made. What it does is it grates mobs when you hit them with it. So let's just go in here. And to actually craft one of these Greater Swords, you're going to need 6 bits of iron and a stick. And you can see here it says it does 4 damage and it grates things off enemies. So the main idea of this sword is not to be a great weapon in combat. What it does is it enables you to get some special items which are required for other aspects of this mod. So for an example here, I'm going to spawn down a bat and try and hit it before it flies away. Get back here, bat. Yes. But you can see here it's dropped some bat fur, and this bat fur is used in some other items in this mod. So what this Greater Sword does is it just grates mobs. So I just grated that bat there and grated off his skin. Yes, it's a bit barbaric, just ignore that. But you can get special items off mobs using it. So if I use this on a blaze, instead of the blaze dropping blaze rods, it would drop directly blaze powder and stuff like that. So that's how this thing works. Anyway, let's just go over here so I can show you an example of how you can actually use the bat fur. And I have done this in a weird order, I'm sorry about that, I didn't think it through when I was setting this up. But here we go. So we've got battle iron, and you can see here we've got a bat and then a hyphen and then an L-E. So yep, you can see this is a bit of a pun here. It's basically iron. Oh damn rain, let me just turn that off. What it is it's iron that's made out of bat fur. Well, it's a mixture of bat fur and iron. And to craft it, this battle iron, I'm going to call it, you're going to need 2 iron ingots and some bat fur. And then once you've got the battle iron, you can actually craft armor and tools. So once you've actually got this, the armor set is actually stronger than iron, and the sword, if I just get one now, is actually stronger than diamond. So let's just spawn, I don't know, villager. It's got 20 health, and you can see I can hit it. That's 9 gone, and there. It's a lot more effective than a diamond sword, so it's definitely worth actually making some battle iron and then using it to kill some mobs. It's very effective. So just go and try and find some bats to grate, then make this armor and weapon, and it's just fun to use, really. So yeah, that's the battle iron. But what have we got next? Oh yes, we've got the mincer and spearmint. Yep, and you can probably see where this pun is going. But over here, you can see we've got these mint crops. Now, originally, to actually obtain mint, you need to find it in dungeons and mineshafts. But once you've found some mint, you can just till some grass and then place the mint directly on the tilled grass. And then you can place down the mint and it's going to grow. I think it has 4 growth stages, just like wheat. And of course, you're going to need some water. And then once it's fully grown, you can just hit it and it drops some mint. Like so. So I can hit these and I've got some mint now. And once you actually eat this, you can actually eat this stuff. It gives you a speed boost. I think it's like 5 seconds. Yeah, 5 seconds of speed, 1. And yeah, so it's a bit pointless to actually eat this directly, but its main use is actually to be used in crafting to make other cool items. So over here, we've got something called a spearmint. Oh, I love these puns. That is genius. Spearmint, seriously. But anyway, it has the description smells fresh. Well, I'm presuming it does. Probably a bit minty, actually. But you can use these and throw them like spears, obviously, and yeah, you can aim them at mobs. So I'm just going to get some cows here, spawn down a cow, throw some of these at it, and you can see that the actual render of the spear is just an arrow, so you can just fire arrows with your hand instead of using a bow, I suppose. And it's very effective as well. As you can see, I killed that cow in just 1 hit, so a very effective weapon, and it's called the Spearmint, which I just love. And every time you craft one of these, you get 3 spearmints. So yeah, you're going to have to craft these over and over again because they're not retrievable. You cannot retrieve the spearmints once you've actually thrown them. But what have we got next? Oh yes, we've got the mincer. So this basically just is a very effective weapon. It's the same as a diamond sword in power, and it's crafted like in the same way as an iron sword, but just with mint on the side, like so. And yeah, you can hit mobs, and what it does in addition to doing some damage is it actually gives you a speed effect. So if I spawn down a cow here and hit it with this mincer, you can see that it's given me speed 3 for 6 seconds. So it's good if you're trying to run into an area, try and attack the mobs and then quickly make an escape, because it gives you speed 3 so you can quickly run away after you've attacked them. And it's really cool if you're trying to fight spiders, because spiders just like lunge at you, and if you've got this speed 3 effect on you, when you actually hit the spider, it gives you enough time to run away before it lunges at you, which is quite useful actually. So yeah, those are the mint items that this mod adds. But next up, we've got something called the Painmaker. Note the spelling of pain. You can probably guess what it's going to be made out of. So yeah, it's made out of glass panes. See what they did there? And a stick like that. You're going to need 6 glass panes, which shouldn't be a problem. And then you craft something called a Painmaker. And the cool, unique aspect of the Painmaker is that as you use it and its durability is decreased, it actually gets more powerful. So at the start, let me just get this now. Let's see. I've got this little iron golem here to test it, who appears to already be damaged. Oh well. You can see it's only doing 1 damage. But if I actually damage this more and more, it should start doing 2 damage. We've got to stand here forever hitting this iron golem until this durability goes down enough. Come on, I'm waiting for it to change to 2. Come on. Eventually it should change to 2 and I can prove this point. Okay. Now it's doing 4 damage, you can see, because its durability is going down. And let's just keep doing this. It's quite fun just to kill this guy. But you can see there, it went from 1 damage to 3 damage to 4 damage as its durability went down. And that's the cool thing about this. It gains like special effects and enchants as it's damaged more, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's the Painmaker. But next up, we have something called the Steel Knife. Hence the spelling of steel is actually like steel, as in steal an item instead of steel, and that's the pun in this. So when you actually craft one of these steel knives, which you craft using 2 iron ingots and a stick arranged diagonally like so, you actually craft some steel knives. I believe you get 3 steel knives per crafting recipe, and these can be used to steal items from mobs when you hit them. So if I just spawn down a zombie here and wait until it, well, make sure it doesn't burn before I actually hit it. You can see I'm getting rotten flesh into my inventory, and I also got some iron ingots. Did you see that? It's given me iron ingots and also some rotten flesh. It just steals items from mobs before they actually die, which is quite useful. It's like robbing them. That's how I think of it anyway. So if I put down a skeleton and then throw this at it, come on, get back here. Yes. What's it giving me? I don't know. Let's have a look. I think it just... Did that give me an iron shovel? I'm pretty sure it did. It gave me an iron shovel, and it also gave me some arrows as well, and 2 bows. So you can see there, it just grabs some random item drops from mobs when you actually throw the knives at them. And I think the drops that you get are actually better than what you'd get if you killed them normally. So yeah, these are the steel knives. You just steal items from mobs using them. Quite a unique concept, and I quite like that. Although very expensive, considering you only have 3 knives to actually use before you run out. Then again, if you're actually using them against zombies, you're going to get the iron that you spent on those knives back. So really, it's not really giving you anything to use them. It's just quite fun to actually kill mobs. So yeah, that's the steel knife. But what have we got next? Oh yes, we've got the Exterminator. You can see what they've done there with the name Exterminator. It probably gives you a hint of what it does. So if we go in here, you can see that to actually craft an Exterminator, you're going to need 6 iron ingots and a feather, and for some reason we haven't got an Exterminator in here. I keep forgetting to put things in. So here we go, we've got an Exterminator, and it says prepare for extermination. Sounds like some kind of Dalek or something. But yeah, once you've crafted this, you just need to get something else to actually fire it. It takes something called hard-boiled eggs as ammo, and to craft hard-boiled eggs, you just put an egg in a furnace, and you smelt it, and then it becomes hard-boiled. That really does make sense when you think about it. But you're going to need loads of hard-boiled eggs as ammo, because this thing fires them so rapidly. It's insane. But anyway, let's just spawn down a villager to test out this Exterminator on. 20 health, and you can see every egg is doing like 4 damage, although they're actually only doing 1 damage. What's happening there? Oh well. 5 damage. It seems to do a random amount of damage, but you can just fire them repeatedly at villagers and torture the poor things. Oh, did I just throw out a bow? I don't know how that happened, but you can see you can just fire them so rapidly. Look at that. Wow. Explosions everywhere. Egg explosions. Oh, I'm making my own puns now. This is terrible. Look at this. Oh yes. It's so fun to use, although I am running out of ammo. So yeah, that's the Exterminator. Very good for exterminating animals and mobs and stuff like that. But what have we got next? Let's go over here. We've got the flea bag. Now, this is nothing to do with the actual flea mite thingy. What it is it enables you to actually escape from caves when you're really deep down under and you can't actually find a way out. You can use a flea bag and it teleports you to the surface in a random location. But to craft a flea bag, what you need is 7 bits of leather, some redstone and a gold nugget, and then you can actually craft one of these things, put it in your inventory, and I've got a little hole here which you're going to jump down with some water at the bottom, luckily, so I didn't die. And if I actually use this flea bag, you can see there's no way out of this, but if I use this flea bag, you can see it teleports me to the surface. And don't worry, it doesn't give you any full damage, but it's teleported me to a random position above the surface. I appear to be right down there, but here we go. We're back to the flea bag. So that's what it does. Say you're stuck in a cave and you can't really find the way out, you can just use your flea bag, get to the surface again, it'll place you in a random location somewhere near to where you went down, and yeah, that's awesome. Very useful item, actually. That's quite a useful item. I love that. And I see the pun in the name. Quite clever. So next up is an item called the ultimate block, which is kind of funny because it's not actually a block at all. But let's just go in here and see how you craft it. So to craft this thing called an ultimate block, they've actually spelled ultimate wrong there, unless that's a pun that I'm missing. But you can see its description. No, it's not a block at all. But anyway, to craft this, you're going to need a block of diamond, a block of gold, and a block of emerald. And then once you've crafted it, what it does is when you hold it in your hand, it actually gives you resistance for the period of time it takes for its durability to run out. So if I hold this in my hand, jump in lava, you can see I'm taking no damage, but as soon as its durability runs out, I'm going to start taking ticks of damage because it's got limited durability. And then you can see it starts regenning again after I've used it, and then it'll go back up to full durability, and then I can start using it again. But you can see it's now absorbing the damage that this flames are giving me, and yeah, it'll start regenning again like so. And when it's actually regenning, it seems to like pop up and down in your hand, which is kind of insane, but it also works to protect you against mob damage. So let me just spawn a creeper, for example, switch to this, should explode. I take no damage from that, but now I'm in lava, so I'm going to start taking damage. But you can see that creeper did nothing to me because I was holding that and it absorbed all my damage. It gives you something insane like resistance 100 while you're holding it, which is kind of crazy. But I'm just going to heal myself now. Stop burning! Why am I on fire still? Ouch! Stop burning! Hello there, zombie. How are you down there? You're not coming up, put it that way. So yeah, that's the ultimate block, which is not a block at all, it's a gem. So next up we have something called a crossbow, and it's a crossbow in the literal sense. And that is because its texture is basically just a cross on top of a bow. I love that. These puns are just genius. Anyway, it's crafted using 5 golden ingots like so, and you fire it just like a bow. You can charge it up like so, and the more you charge it, the more damage it's going to do. And it fires out gold instead of arrows, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to get some chickens here, I'm going to spawn down some chickens and explode them with this lovely crossbow. Oh, look at that. And you can see it has a massive splash damage radius, so if you've got like 4 chickens next to each other, it's going to do damage to all of them. And that's 3 chickens, I can't count, but look at that. Killed them all. And let's just see how much damage you can actually make this thing do. So if we fully charge it, aim at this villager, it did 10 damage. Wow. And of course the range that it hits the mob at is factored into how much damage it does. So if I hit a mob over there, it's going to do less damage than if it hit it at close range, because of course the gold's going to be losing velocity, it's not going to hurt as much. So yeah, and as you can see here, it says no ammo needed, and that's because it doesn't use any ammo at all. So it's kind of overpowered. It's like a bow with unlimited arrows. It's just amazing. So it's pretty much a bow with the infinity enchant. But yeah, that's the crossbow, which is literally just a bow with a cross on it. So yeah, these puns just get worse and worse, don't they? But next up, we've got the break fast. And yep, here's another pun. So if we go in here, you're going to see that this is actually a pickaxe, which is crafted for some reason using 2 sticks, 2 raw pork chops, and an egg. And basically, it's a pickaxe that breaks things fast. And you can't eat it, sadly, which is a bit of a shame. I wish you could. And you can see I'll just prove that you can't eat this thing. I'm going to try and eat it. No, it's not going to work. But you can see it's also giving me a potion effect when I'm holding it. And whenever you hold this break fast pickaxe, it gives you a speed permanently. So as soon as I swap away from it, I'm going to lose the speed. But as soon as you hold it, you get speed again. And then you can break blocks, and you can see it's breaking blocks quite fast. But there is one thing about this thing, it doesn't break obsidian. When I first saw this item, I thought, well, it's called the break fast. Hopefully, I'll be able to use it to mine obsidian really fast. But because it's not a diamond pickaxe, you can't mine obsidian with it, which is a real shame. I really wanted to, but you can't. So you're going to have to use a diamond pick still to mine obsidian. It only breaks things like stone or cobble and stuff really fast. So yeah, that's the break fast pickaxe. But yeah, what have we got next? Oh yeah, of course, we've got the flying pan. Oh, this is brilliant. I love the texture of this. It's basically a flying pan with like some weird like splattery particles around it. But anyway, to actually use this, you just right click and hold it down. And the longer you hold it down, the higher you go. So I can just hold it down infinitely, and look how high I'm going. Oh no. I think I've got a bit excessive with the height there. And you can actually slowly go down and avoid getting full damage if you just right click as you're going down like so. And hopefully I'm going to be able to survive this fall. I've gone like to the edge of the world, into space with this flying pan. But I should be able to land on this and not take too much damage. Oh, it's so hard to do. Okay, I've taken half my health and damage. But yeah, I've survived, kind of. And you can just fly with this flying pan. And you can go really high with it. And I'm probably going to die now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to land. Oh, look, I'm sideways. I'm dead. Hello. I didn't think that through. And where have I spawned? By loads of squids in the middle of nowhere? Oh dear. Anyway, I'll be back when I've actually managed to find my way back to where I was. So on my way back, I've just noticed this. We've got one random block here with a rose on it. How cute is that? We've just got a random block in the air with a rose on it in the middle of nowhere. Ah, this is a beautiful seed. Loving that. Oh, I just thought I'd have to mention that. But here we go. We're nearly back now. Should be able to land and pick up all of my junk. Oh yes, this is where it's at. Okay then. So that's how the flying pan works. And you can see there it's crafted using 5 iron, some redstone and a stick. But let's just go back into survival. Now we've got all our junk back. What have we got next? Oh yes, of course, we've got the Morningstar. And yeah, this does exactly what you'd think it does. So if I set it to nighttime like so, and then get this Morningstar and then use it, it sets it to daytime. So that's what the Morningstar does. It just makes it so it's morning. Yeah. And it's crafted using some wool, 2 feathers, and then you craft the Morningstar, which kind of looks like a nether star, but you know, minor technicality. But what have we got next? Oh yes, of course, we've got the Holy Sword, which would be a holy sword, but it's actually got holes in it. So let's just go in here. Hello there, Iron Golem. How are you today? So let's just go over to the chest. And you can see here, it's actually crafted using sponge. And of course, you can't really get sponge in vanilla Minecraft because it's not actually an item that's supported. But in this mod, there is actually a crafting recipe to craft sponge. And to craft it, you're going to need 2 raw fish, some water, and then some moss stone. And don't worry, you do get the bucket back after you've used it. And then you get some sponge. And then if you actually put 2 sponge along with a stick, you craft the Holy Sword. And the unique thing about the Holy Sword is that it's actually, when you craft it, it has some durability taken down. So it only has minimal durability. So if you wanted a full durability Holy Sword, you're going to need to craft like 4 of them and then combine them together and then repair them like that. And you can see here it does 7 damage, the same as a diamond sword. So let's just spawn down. Oh wait, we've got this iron golem to test it on. So you can see there it's doing 8 damage. Actually, it's doing 8 damage and it said it did 7 damage. Oh well. So let's just hit this guy and it's eventually going to die, like so. So it's just like a normal sword, but it's just as powerful as diamond and a lot easier to obtain than diamonds are. So yeah, that's the Holy Sword, which as you can see is covered in holes, and that's why it's called the Holy Sword, not the Holy Sword. Oh dear. But yeah, that's the Holy Sword. So, next up we have an item called the Peacemaker, and not peace as in rest in peace, we're on about peace as in I'm going to cut you into pieces. But let's just go in here and look how we craft this thing. So to craft this Peacemaker item, you're going to need 8 feathers and a diamond sword in the center. And you can notice that the texture of it is actually just a diamond sword, but a lighter tinge of blue. And the little comment in it is rest in pieces, because of course when you kill someone with this, it's going to be cut up into pieces, and then it's going to be dying there, so rest in pieces. Oh, these puns. Anyway, so once you've actually crafted this, what it actually does, you should probably guess by the actual crafting recipe, but it fires feathers. So if I spawn down some chickens, just for a bit of irony here, we're going to kill chickens with their own feathers. How cool is that? And it just fires out feathers. You don't need any ammo. It just fires and spawns feathers out of nowhere. I don't know how that works, but let's just kill some cows with this. And each feather does 4 damage. Look at that. Very effective weapon. And of course you can hit things with it just like a normal sword, and it does 7 damage, so the same as a diamond sword, because of course the crafting recipe uses up a diamond sword, so it's only logical that it has the same kind of power as a diamond sword, but it has the added addition of being able to fire feathers at everything and do additional damage. So yeah, that's the Rest in Peacemaker, or Peacemaker, not Rest in Peacemaker. I don't know, I'm making up item names now, but yeah. So what have we got next? Okay, we've got the soul stand, and this soul stand, and you'll see why it's called the soul stand when you actually look at the crafting recipe. So to craft this, you're going to need 2 bits of soul sand and a wither skull, and it makes a soul stand because it's a stand made out of soul sand. And yeah, you're going to need a pickaxe to actually mine this once you've placed it down, but once you place it down, it looks like this. It's like a brewing stand, but with a wither head at the top instead of the brewing area. And if you right click on it, it gives you potion effects. So you can see it's given me slowness, nausea, regeneration and resistance. So it's given you 2 negative effects and 2 positive effects. So it's kind of a balanced kind of item here. So if you're in like a combat situation, I can imagine that regeneration 2 could be very useful for you, and also the resistance. But the nausea and slowness would put you off a bit when you're trying to fight stuff. But if you really were in a desperate situation, placing one of these down would not be a bad idea at all. And I love the texture of them as well. But that's pretty much all this soul stand does. And again, you can mine it only with a pickaxe, pickaxe, if you try and mine it normally with your fist, you just can't, it doesn't drop the item. But if you mine it with a pickaxe, it drops the item and you can place it down again. So next up, we have an item called diamond. And no, it's not diamond, it's diamond, if you get what I mean. Anyway, what this is it's basically armor made out of a collection of dyes, along with a diamond, emerald, and cocoa beans. And of course, the kind of dye actually does matter in this case, so it has to be purple dye, has to be dandelion yellow dye, and it has to be rose red dye. But once you've actually crafted some diamonds, you're going to need all the diamonds that are required to actually craft a full set of tools and armor, and then you can craft these just like in vanilla Minecraft, and by default you just get the diamond set. And then you can actually differentiate this out into the different kinds of diamond armor, because there are different kinds, and also the tools have different varieties as well, and all the sets of armor actually have different abilities on them. So you can see here we've got overworld, end, lux, and nether armor, and that they all come from the core diamond armor. So to actually craft these and differentiate them out, you're going to need to get the normal diamond armor or whatever it is, diamond tool, and you combine it with end stone to turn it into the end diamond chestplate or whatever you've converted, and then you've got the obsidian to turn it into the lux version of it. And then over here, we've got the nether version of it, which you need a nether brick and the normal armor to actually convert it into a nether item. And here you can see I've just got another example where I've got a normal diamond sword, and I'm combining it with nether brick, and I'm getting a nether diamond sword. So all you need to do is either add nether brick, endstone or obsidian to whatever diamond armor or item you've got, and it'll differentiate it out into the different kind. And I'm going to start off with the normal overworld item set, which is this one here. If I just put it on, it's got like a lovely orange color, and for some reason I'm Steve again. The skin servers must be down, but anyway, I'm just going to put these on my hotbar so I can show you what abilities they give you. So it says here that the overworld one should give you haste and absorption. So it gives me haste 2 and a health boost, which is absorption. So yeah, that's how that works. It gives you special abilities when you wear the armor and hold the items. But next up we've got the end one. So let's just put on the end armor, which is here. Let's put that down here and then swap out the items. So let's put that on my hotbar like so. And you can see this one, it gives me speed 2, night vision 2, health boost, and jump boost. So I can jump higher, like so. I've got a boost in health, so I've got more health than usual. I've got night vision, so if it was night time, I'd be able to see better. And of course, I've got speed, so I can run everywhere really fast. And that's the end version of the armor. But next up, what have we got? Oh yeah, we've got the Lux version. So if I just take this off and put on the Lux version, and put these on my hotbar, and it says, my precious. It's like Gollum or something. You can see this one gives me a health boost, regeneration, and resistance. And I love the colour of this. It's like a purple colour. Wow, look at me now. Looking awesome. Although I am still Steve, which is a bit annoying, but yeah. So there we go. That's the 3 different sets over here. And there's one more set I need to show you. So let's just swap over to that. Here we go. Let's just equip this armor, hold these weapons, and see what we get. So you can see here we get a health boost and fire resistance, which makes sense really, considering it's a fire set. So yeah. If you actually make the nether variety of this armor, you will get fire resistance, which makes it really good if you're going to explore the nether, because you can just swim through the lava and you'll have no problems in the world at all. So that pretty much sums it up for the diamond armor sets. 4 different varieties, and you can change them into different varieties by adding either endstone, obsidian, or nether brick. So the last item in this mod is called the Stone of Might, and yes, there is a reason why I've left this till last, because it's just the most destructive and most annoying one in the whole mod, and if I'd have done it at the start, I wouldn't have been able to show anything else, because it just annoyed me too much. So by me saying that, you've probably guessed what Stone of Might actually is. It doesn't make you all high and mighty, it spawns a load of mites, and you can probably predict what mites are. But anyway, if we open up this chest, you can see that to actually craft a Stone of Might, which says, what does this do? I will never know. Anyway, to actually craft this, you're going to need 9 stone bricks, like so, and then you craft something that looks like a clay kind of texture with a weird orange dot in it. It's like an eye or something. But if we actually just place this down just by right-clicking on the ground, you're going to see all hell breaks loose. We spawn tons of silverfish, or mites. They actually are called mites. They've got the name Mite on them. Oh, it's just crazy. Look at this. They're beating me up. I'm getting attacked by silverfish. Some silverfish apocalypse. No, don't push me off the edge. It's like Sparta. It's like, this is Sparta they're doing, and they're pushing me off the edge. No. And they're all chasing me, even off the edge. Oh dear, save me. Oh, let's go back into creative and get back up here. Wow. What the hell was that? Okay then, so you can see that's what happens when you actually use that item. Loads of silverfish spawn, and look at them! They're everywhere, there's so many of them. It just seems like they've just taken over the whole damn world. Of course, you could just swap to peaceful and get rid of them, but that would be ruining the fun. And now you can see why I left this till last. It's just so annoying. Anyway, let's just go up on the tree away from all these silverfish so I can finish up this mod. So, thank you for watching. This is the puns mod, and it has so many different items that are just insane. My favourite's probably the flying pan. That's just brilliant. And of course, we've got the holy sword and the Painmaker. I mean, just the whole fact that every item in this mod is a pun just is so good. It's such a fun mod to use. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you next mod showcase. And as always, thank you for watching.